week after the Hungaroring, the Grand Prix scene has moved from Hungary to Austria to the Österreich-Ring. And this is the circuit that the drivers really love. There are no first-gear corners here. They're just a lot of fast sweepers, speeds of up to 215 miles an hour and a lap record of nearly 160 miles an hour. It's now the fastest circuit of them all, and it's absolutely critical in the World Championship. Nelson Piquet ahead for the drivers, from Ayrton Senna in second position, with in third place tying Nigel Mansell and Alain Prost. In fifth position it's Stefan Johansson, and in sixth place Gerhard Berger. Williams have an enormous lead in the Constructors' Championship ahead of McLaren, who have got Lotus just behind them, and Ferrari in a poor fourth place. So, in pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix for the second time this year, Nelson Piquet. Second is teammate Nigel Mansell, once again on the front row of the grid. Third, the Ferrari of Gerhard Berger, ahead of the two Benettons of Thierry Boutsen fourth and Theo Fabi fifth. Sixth, the Ferrari of Michele Alboreto. Senna is seventh, Patrese is eighth, world champion Alain Prost is in ninth place. Derek Warwick is 11th on the grid, Martin Brundle is 17th, Philippe Alliot is the fastest 3.5 litre car at 22nd, and Jonathan Palmer is 24th in his Tyrrell. And away they surge. Good start for Piquet, good start for Mansell, and into third position sprints Theo Fabi by passing the Ferrari of Gerhard Berger. And as you see, as usual, as very often here, there is a shambles as two cars. One of the Ligier spin off, and now the other one was one of the two Zack-Speed, so it is either Brundle or Danner. I think it was Martin Brundle. Well, there is the answer. There is Jonathan Palmer, whose race was a very short one indeed. Piquet leading, and the Benetton Ford up into second position. And a black flag is being waved. Now we'll see them come down, and the race is being stopped. The red flag is out, and there is the reason. Jonathan Palmer's Tyrrell is in a dangerous position. That is Pier Carlo Ghinzani, the unfortunate Italian who, for one reason or another, never seems to finish a Grand Prix. So here is the replay. Let's look and see if we can sort out what happened. There, Martin Brundle's losing control and going straight into the Armco on the left. And behind him, you can see Arnoux is swerving. He hits Nannini. And there is Philippe Streff. That flash from the engine means he's in trouble. He swerves, and he's hit by Jonathan Palmer, and both the Tyrrells are badly damaged. And as they form up for the restart of the Austrian Grand Prix after that multiple crash earlier on, amazingly, it looks as though all 26 competitors are restarting, although several of them, of course, will be in their spare cars. 52 laps, and Piquet scorches away. Mansell is left, and he's left very badly indeed. Look how he's being passed, and there's another coming together. A car dragging along the Armco, 3 of them out, and one of them is Stefan Johansson, and there's a Ferrari down there, and they're all over the circuit. This is far worse than the first one. Streff is in trouble again. Fabre is in trouble again. Alliot has stopped. There's at least 6 cars. Jonathan Palmer has stopped, but his car looks perfectly okay. Christian Danner has stopped. Well, this has to be some sort of condemnation, I think, of the Austrian circuit here. Is it wide enough? This is the second time it's happened. Here, then, is the second start. Now, watch, there's Nigel Mansell's car, which is dragging along, and you see the others charging up to him. Now you see Eddie Cheever coming up alongside, and there is the Brabham of De Cesaris turning into him. Johansson goes into Cheever's arrows, and the rest just pile up solidly behind. Now you see Capelli in trouble again. He goes sideways on the circuit, and Pascal Fabre's car leaps over the top of the march, and that goes into the Lola. And this incredible picture shows in the foreground, in the blue helmet, Philippe Streff, and in the Charo car, which is the AGS, Pascal Fabre has leapt over the top of Philippe Alliot's Lola, and you can see Alliot getting out of the cockpit. and on the right in the turquoise-coloured car is Ivan Capelli. For the third time, off come the tyre warmers from Thierry Boutsen's Benetton in fourth position on the grid, as he, like everybody else, hopes that the Austrian Grand Prix will at last be getting underway, nearly 1.5 hours after it was supposed to. Two men will not be starting, Alex Caffey and Philippe Streff. And quite a lot of people will be starting from the pit lane, including world champion Alain Prost and Ferrari's Michele Alboreto. It's a long drag. They've got their clutches out. It's much too long, but they get away. Piquet's good. Berger is ahead of Mansell. Boutsen's ahead of Mansell. And Senna is left on the line. Senna came out in the spare car, and he had clutch problems, and he's left badly. But now we've actually got a start for the Austrian Grand Prix. Piquet, Boutsen. Then the rest go streaming through, and Capelli well up. And all the people from the pit lane have got away well, as you see Nelson Piquet leading round the long right-hander up to the fastest part of the course. 215 miles an hour is the speed that they go down to the Bosch curve in, and there is the leader. It's Piquet, Boutsen, Berger, Mansell and Farby coming up to take Mansell.
And once again, Mansell appeared to have clutch trouble at the start, but I'm sure he was looking after it very carefully. He didn't lose too much time. He couldn't get the car away very quickly, but he held on to his place, didn't go down nearly as badly as he did at the last start.
And now they're into the Texaco bends, coming up to the crest, which is where Stefan Johansson hit the deer at 170 miles an hour. Practice it, Piquet, Boutsen, Berger, Mansell, Farby, and then Patrese, Warwick, and Johansson. And they're coming up to the completion now of the first lap, and we'll spot where Alain Prost is in comparison with the people in front of him as Piquet comes through. And it's Piquet, Boutsen, Berger, Mansell, Farby, then a gap. Patrese goes through, followed by Warwick. Then it's De Cesaris, then Johansson, then Nakajima. Now a long gap before Campos goes through, followed by Capelli, Arnoux, Ginzani, Alio, Jonathan Palmer, and Alain Prost is ahead of Senna. As Boutsen in the Benetton on lap 2 in this 52-lap race, who told me before this race began, a long time ago this was, that he was very confident about his chances. He's got the V6 turbo Ford engine, and he's in second place and challenging Piquet for the lead.
But with Senna and Prost relegated to the back of the field with various troubles, Prost, before the start, we saw him being pushed away. His car didn't get away properly on the warm-up lap, had to start from the pit road. Senna had what probably clutch trouble, because remember, these clutches aren't really designed to do 3 starts, and they're pretty fragile. Well, they're not that fragile, but when they're taking 800 horsepower through them.
And Nelson Piquet coming up already to lap somebody on the 4th lap who is coming in, and it's Stefan Johansson. Stefan Johansson touring into the pits. There is Berger, Mansell, Farby. 3rd, 4th and 5th. Piquet goes through, and there is Patrese, and as the sparks fly on that big bump, Nigel Mansell is challenging Berger into the Hellenic curve. Piquet, Boutsen, Mansell is up into 3rd. Down to 4th goes Berger. In 5th position is Theo Farby. Nigel Mansell is on his way. In the 2nd start, Nigel Mansell got away badly because he had a clutch problem. He has restarted in the same car, and Stefan Johansson looks as though he's out of the Austrian Grand Prix. There, look at that. That's the problem with Stefan Johansson. What a dreadful weekend. He hit a deer on Friday, he was involved in a start line accident here today, and now he comes into the pits minus a right front wheel. Mansell is starting to catch Boutsen, and the gap between Piquet leading and Mansell 3rd is about the same, 2.45 seconds. And that is Berger out of the Austrian Grand Prix from 4th position. And here comes Nelson Piquet Now, the gap was 2.45 seconds between him and Mansell. It's 2.2 now. He's lapped Farber. There's Boots second, who's been caught by Mansell third. Derek Warwick in the points at sixth. Andrew De Cesaris is seventh. Nakajima is eighth. Ayrton Senna going well is ninth. Alboreto is 10th. And that is Nakajima. As I've said before, put a camera on a car and it will have trouble. Piquet crests the rise. This is lap 9 out of 52. And he is firmly in command of the Austrian Grand Prix. Boutsen over the crest in second place. You just saw Mansell clearing it in third place. And Ayrton Senna has climbed to 8th position. Ayrton Senna is really flying at the present moment. The fastest lap we have so far is Nelson Piquet, 1 minute 29.5.